It is the creative journalists who make sure the stories of makers, artisans, architects, and designers are told. This year, we introduced the Excellence in Creative Journalism category to celebrate their achievements and contribution to the global design community. Here are the nominees for Excellence in Creative Journalism.
Chicago Architecture Biennial tackles land rights, social justice, and more. Written by Aileen Kwun for CNN Style. Tackling social, political, and environmental concerns, from Native American land rights to gentrification and the role of architecture in memorializing gun violence, this year's participants often reveal uncomfortable truths beneath the gleam of the city's handsome facades.
For this piece, I visited and reported on the 2019 Chicago Architecture Biennial, which took on a host of overlooked topics related to housing, social justice, land rights, and the environment. This was a very different type of architecture biennial in many ways, and one that refreshingly tackled systemic issues head-on. The challenges and opportunities of writing for a global general audience such as CNN's was a huge privilege, and one that was ideal for surfacing large-scale issues that pertain to society at large.
The Father of Dansaekhwa, written by Charlie Lee Potter for Serial Magazine. Visualize an 88-year-old man who's endured poverty, war, persecution, illness, hunger, and neglect, and you won't see the artist Park Seo-bo. In his perky trilby hat and sharp leather jacket, wreathed in smiles, he looks decades younger than he is.
The idea to write about artist Park Seo-bo and the art movement, Dansaekhwa, came from the inspirational editor of Serial, Rosa Parks, and I saw the challenge in 3 parts: to summon the radiant joyousness of this 88-year-old artist, to conjure the mental rigour and sheer physical grit that he has, and also to make visceral an art movement which is deeply intellectual at its core. And I found a way in sideways by staring endlessly at his vast enigmatic paintings and by repeatedly watching him laugh. It was my realisation that his joy is an aspect of his intensity rather than frivolity, which was the key to my piece. He's an artist who, as he told me, strives to tip away his excess self, to rid his work of ego, not to produce an empty mind, but a richer and more powerful one.
Anish Kapoor's Illusory practice, written by Ollie Horne for Serial Magazine. Stepping through the warehouse doors of Anish Kapoor's studio in Camberwell, London, I am greeted by what could be the scene of a massacre. Huge wooden trays with spouts protruding from their sides support chaotic compositions of globby red wax.
And I was very lucky to be invited by Anish Kapoor's press team to visit his studio in London, interview him, and have a tour around the studio, experiencing the art that he has been making recently. And it was a phenomenal day. I had an amazing time. It was such a privilege to listen to Anish Kapoor speak about his own work and experience it so close up in the place it was made. And I wanted to write something that was a really honest portrayal of that day's experience and take the reader along with me to experience the art, some of which hasn't yet been shown to the public. So I hope you all enjoyed reading it.
And the first Créateurs Design Awards for Excellence in Creative Journalism goes to Aileen Kwun.
Thank you so much for the honor. I'm really humbled to be considered alongside such stellar nominees. I'd like to thank editors Fiona Sinclair Scott and Steffi Chung for the opportunity to bring this story to CNN Style, to curators Yosomu Imolu, Sipaki Anjiyama, and Paulo Tavares for bringing to light the many hard truths that ought to be examined and discussed in an architecture biennial today, and to the many designers whose works challenged me to rethink the basis of what we do and how we see the world. Thank you also to the CDA selection committee, to my partner Josh for dealing with my late-night writing habits, and to all design journalists out there who continue to work through this time of global hardship and uncertainty. It's my belief that what you cover and give your attention to is nearly as important as what you write about it, and it was my absolute privilege to report on this story. Here's to making our communities, cities, and collective futures brighter and more equitable. Cheers.
The Créateurs Design Awards is produced and organized by the Créateurs Design Association alongside the Lignée Group. To find out more about our organization and Créateurs Design Awards original content, visit createursdesignawards.com and follow us on social media at Créateurs _design_awards.